Greetings everyone, please go on to make sure that everything is set on up. So everything's going on up. Oh, one thing I need to do is actually clear out my videos folder. Because right now, it's... clear up the space. Right now about 25 gigs free. And that freed up... now I'm up to 160, so I have plenty spare room now. Activate live chat windows. Right now I'm just having trouble clearing my voice. Live chat windows all good. Give me a moment to check my other computer. And everything's good to go. So let's go to get started. Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Age of Empires 4 replay. So on the north side as the Red Togalog Dynasty. I still don't know how to properly pronounce that. So on the south side as the Cyan Mullions, we have a foreign name. Let's see, map generation. One thing I noticed as well, Cyan has both his wood deposits pretty close by each other. This gold deposit is going to be pretty safe, but his other gold deposit will be up front. This wood deposit is along the corner. And if you want to go for trade, we've got a relatively safe one here. And that should be a decent trade route. Just need to clean up this wood to make a straight line. Deer deposit from this. Deer deposit somewhat safe with the line there. But his mining pits, only one would be relatively safe here. When it comes to red and his map generation, all of his wood deposits spawn off the side. So you can't get a nice little safe zone here. Deer deposit that mix. A large number of small trees help mix in this area. Oh. Looks like the work elephant's also collecting some sheeple there. Did not realize he used the work elephant like that. What's the vision range of the work elephant? I don't seem not exactly sure. Suppose if I were to turn on the fog of war, not too great, honestly. Just used to pick up some sheeple. Red is now getting the Tower of Victory up and going. And looks like actually Red's going for a decent amount of stone. No, Tower of Victory's actually been a while since I sent Flood in the field. I think it's the first time I casted the lock with it, which improves the attack speed of elephants produced within Sphere of Influence, rather than all infantry. Monster Quarry now going on up. But since Red's going for a bit of stone, he looks like he may be eyeing for a secondary town center relatively soon. Or maybe the fort. Guess we'll wait and see. With him collecting out that much stone, no wood, looks like he's going for a fort. And pulling the fort somewhere over here, looks like. Going to see what governor he will go for. Monster here. No military units just yet by the Lion player. And let's slow down. Let's see, the fort. It is currently being upgraded. It has been selected for the governor of Barak. Each farm and house in severe influence, but I'm going to go for housing relatively soon around it. We'll provide the 12, 20, or 28 food, and this is the first upgrade fort, so should be up to 20 food per minute per house, which is pretty nice. Mining place going for more mining pits there. We do have some stables, or a stable point of field going for the Warrior Scout upgrade. Upgrading Vanguard Scouts to Warrior Scouts, but no real military presence on the field. Maybe it's going for Professional Scouts, the current rate. First house going on up. Of course, the first tick will it activate? Nope, since the house is not fully built. So good to know, scaffolding does not count. Some precise questions like that is important. If the scaffolding did get work, then you can quickly lay down scaffolding and worry about building them, finalizing them later. In this case, it doesn't, so no cheesy play there. What you would expect is the case. And like I said, that small thing does make a difference. We do have a Raider Elephant. Raider Elephant pursuing the Warrior Scout, which does not have full horse movement speed. Raider Elephants don't even have heavy cavalry movement speed. Of course, they do look like a decent amount of charge range. When the housing start gets set ablaze, we do have some sofas and Donzo. With the Tower of Victory is now scattered out by red or by cyan. Probably a good idea to go for a healthy number of Donzo. Right now, plus 55 food per minute. That does not seem right. Should be 20, right? Either way, should be 20 per housing if I'm reading that correct. Either way, the Warrior Scout does take a bit of damage there. Raider Elephants do have a slight bit of bonus damage versus structures. If I say slight, I mean greater than torches. They have the same melee attack for units as well as for structures. In comparison, this does do 13 damage, while this course has 18 damage at a 0.75 attack speed, which is very fast. After all, torches do attack at 2.12, while this does have the... Oh, no, I'm reading the tower range. Does have the... It looks like it's actually 1.12. I think that's the faster attack speed for the building there. Could be a charge attack. I honestly not really sure. They all look the same to me. I really wish they would say Tusks melee and say anti-structure as a little blurb there, or charge. Just little bits of tidbits information of, does that mean structure or does that mean charge? Either way, Spearmen against Donzo. Donzo is superior to Spearmen. They have more health and armor. Now, Javelin Throw does bonus damage versus Cavalry, but no additional bonus damage versus Elephants. But still, 14 damage per attack. The Javelin Throw is still pretty nice. It does do range damage, so the higher range armor will resist to a certain extent, but not entirely. More farming research there. Okay, right now... Alright, it looks like it does do ticks in form of every 25 seconds, so I was expecting even number there. Or, not 25 seconds, 15 seconds. Good number of spearmen there engaged in the sofas. Well, I should get some more housing. Might as well maximize as soon as you can because of additional food income. Sofas and Warrior Scout being pursued. Does try to engage the Raider Cavalry individually. Raider Cavalry's course is effectively most similar to a Gilded Horseman. Though it feels like it's stronger than a Gilded Horseman overall. Don't have exact side-by-side numbers in my head. Granted, it is far slower than a Gilded Horseman. Sofas and Warrior Scout heading down south. Got the Grand Filani Corral now being flown in field. Good number of raider elephants and hardened spearmen. Right now, archers will all be best since all the Doms on the field. Down south, we got the raider cavalry pushing the way forward. House of Learning is also queued on up, which will give them access to 6 unique technologies. These raider elephants are heading back up north. Grand Fulani Corral now deployed on the field. And looks like we've got all 20 pieces of beef in the cattle ranches. Those trucks are going down very quickly. Donzo's getting an excellent volley there. Takes out one of the raider elephant. Donzo overall just a great option right now. What other elephants can he get in next age? I apparently misclicked the next click on the day. Stable. Of course, he got standard lancers, which does not get affected by the Tower of Victory, and the war elephants, which are heavy armor as well. Excuse me. You can get a former tower elephant, right? I can't remember. Forestry range, course can get... Nope, no tower elephant. Oh, good. Either way, now the veteran raider elephant pushes way forward, trying to trample some of these villagers. They do have a trample ability they can try using against those villagers. Though it is 4 damage of 0.5, so 12. I wonder if it gets resisted by orc melee armor. But could be very nice, help trample all those villagers. Doing a good job of taking off some of those villagers there. Raider elephants have right now 1 additional melee armor, or 4 additional range armor. Veteran Donzo deployed in the field. We got the veteran, or the Sofa imported armor. Veteran Sofa, veteran archer. A number of these units there. Only 1 fort. Sort of wish these forts had their own unique icon on the map. They're important enough, I would say, that would warrant that. Currently, this fort is providing 200 food per minute, which is a very nice extra surplus. Right now, we've got 30 versus 32 villagers. Red did kill off 2. We've also got a bit of help for Jen here. We do have the poison arrow research now being researched by the Malian player, which may be somewhat useful versus all the elephants. Though I'm overall not a big fan of poison arrows, because usually units are either alive or dead. They're rarely in between for the poisons to actually take effect. You have some man-at-arms now pulling the field by the dynasty. Nothing fantastic about them. Those just heading down south. They did collect a bit of venison there, and they were also collecting a bit of berries. Elephants are rotating around. Here. Do they produce imams? Yeah. So that means eating boar is haram. I don't know why I second guessed myself there. Because after all, Tughal Dynasty is supposed to be one of the Indian variants, or should I say Hindustani variants. After all, India was never not known to India as India until 1947. And they were largely viewed as some variation of Hindustan. And I was curious of when they would consider that religion as opposed to Islam, which would allow hunting for boar. We now have the mosque going on up here. Maybe eyeing for some relics, such as this one here. Decent force here. We've got 49 versus 49 units. Got 6,000 versus 5,500. So they're still pretty even at this moment. Though there's a lot less red elephants, more man-arms and crossbowmen. Crossbowmen going to be good only against the Sofa. Good number of archers by the Mullen players. Sofa is a good generalist unit there, but he's fighting against a good number of spearmen now. So I don't think the Mullen players are going to win this fight all too well. Got a decent line of crossbowmen over here. Do actually Sign pick up that relic. Sign maybe will grab that relic right there, which would assume to be hardly contestable. Apparently it is. Some of these villagers are being trampled by some raider elephants. Looks like some Donzo is sticking behind to cover the retreat of the other units. Raider elephants could be picked off by the Sofas. Bit of a spear bracing on those Sofas. Good number going down. The Sofa composition right now is just not going to be super useful against the Togol Dynasty since he has spearmen, crossbowmen. His archers, of course, would be nice versus the spearmen, but not versus the handful of man-at-arms are mixed on in. Some Musafati warriors may be a good idea to start mixing on in, but it looks like it's just over Archer Sofa for the Mullen composition. Fort of the Hunters, so it looks like the Mullen player is actually aging up to age 4. Does let them out how to upgrades on the Raider Elephants, so they do move at pretty decent rates now. A similar rate to Sofas and Warrior Scouts. You have a Spring Gold here. For the Hunter still being built. Rez could try interrupting it. Sofas charge away forward. Archers engage the crossbowmen. It's becoming very messy very quickly. The elephants could try trample on top of these villagers back here. Spring Gold needs to be just turning the attack move forward. Good number of science villagers are going down, so it doesn't have too much military force. The Fort of the Huntress is actually being interrupted. Looks like the Fort of Huntress has completely stalled out. There are 3 villagers there. Science now 34 villagers for 63. He still has a grand full on a corral for a good amount of income, but Science is very far behind when it comes to civilians on the field. Big ground civilians, nearly all of them remaining, trying to finish the Fort of the Huntress, who's taken quite a bit of damage. Down to below to 2,000 health. Maganel fires a volley there on the crossbowman. Red has some reinforcements coming in, including 4 war elephants, which require Musafati warriors or Donzo. Donzo will probably be better in this situation. Fort of the Huntress has been completed. Villagers get inside of it. We'll have a good number of poison arrows to these war elephants. You know, I don't think the last time I've seen war elephants against Mullions. Signs down to 25 villages he needs to get replacements town centers. But nearly all of them weren't collecting. 26 villagers, 5 population siege weapons. Not looking good for the Mullion player. Currently has only 2 mining pits on the field, which not all of them are encompassed all the way. So that will be fixed shortly. 4 of the Huntress needs a better repairs. He has some wood to work with. Maybe, yeah, task 1 village to get some repairs going. I wonder if he has the repair upgrade. Nope, not just yet. His upgrade that he tried to avoid needing to utilize. One of the few times it could actually be useful. Got some Musafati gunners. Python. Actually, Sign managed to get 4 relics, which is very nice. Palace of the Sultan now being deployed on the field over here, which will provide appoints a governor to the Palace of Sultan and immediately provides a 4th tier benefactor. max out fort. And since he's pulling her out right next to the Tower of Victory, it's not something that involves for aura, if it looks like. You have to wait and see what type of governor he's planning to go for. Yeah, I do think the Mullion player needs to squeeze out secondary town center. Actually, we do actually have one here, so that's two. Maybe a third? Which will require wood and gold. Mullions don't require stone for it. Is that a good or bad thing at this moment? Stone's available. Why a bad thing at this moment? So far, some Musfati gunners. Yeah, I actually really don't know the last time I've seen War Elephants versus Mullions. I don't think I already cast Delhi versus Mullion all too often. In which I feels like Mullions will have trouble with War Elephants overall. Musfati Warriors is the counter as well as Donzo. No crossbowmen. I have no faith in poison archers. So yeah, I think we need to see more Donzo in the field. Donzo at least are beefy enough to deal or be superior to the Spearmen and be at least decent enough versus the Man-at-Arms. That little bit of armor does make them go a longer way. And of course, Musfati Gunner is a good journalist unit in this situation. The mill has gone down. Alright, it's not going for too big a military force. Going for elite elephant raiders now. What government did he go for? I see a bunch of this symbol here. Reduces the cost of research and technologies by 35%. And that would be, of course, that one there. So, discounted research is probably a great thing to have access in this age. Able to get all the university techs for cheap, not to mention elite upgrades. And all the blacksmith upgrades, just get all the upgrades for a pretty impressive discount. Very nice to have. Do have a, yeah, still just the 2 pit mines in the field. Remember as well, the Monster Core still provides +1 right there, even though it doesn't actually provide +1. Madrasa now deployed in the field. Is it Madrasa or Madrasa? I have no idea. I always have trouble splitting up some of these words that are in forward. Sacred sites have been obtained by red. Villagers here being intercepted by sofas. A very nice pick there. Right now the sofa's doing 21 damage per slice. No textile, so 3 slices and the villagers will go down. We do also have now the Elite Sofa upgrade on the way. Elite Rudder Elephants push forward. Right now they offer 28 damage. That's very similar damage to Knights. I think Knights have, what, 29 base damage? Of course, they have a bit more melee armor, but they don't. These Red Elephants cost wood. Yeah, I'm really curious why the Mullion player is not going for heavier Donzo. Seeing all the Raider Elephants, we definitely should go for Donzo. And with our cast fusion, we see Spearmen and Raider Elephant. So Donzo will just be excellent situation. They're superior to the Spearmen and hard to counter to the Raider Elephants. Musfati Gunners push forward in camouflage. Ambush push forward. What was that? I looked at the trample ability there. I saw the buff there. Try and trample all through some villagers. Textiles have been researched, very important. And the Red Elephants are backing off. They took a bit of damage there. Right now, Sign does have a much higher armory value and has recovered with 55 villagers. Well, I should just look at the total income now. 1,400, 15,000. Let's just call it even 3,000 across the board versus 18. So that's 3,000, close to 4,000. So Mullion still has 3/4 economy of the Togol Dynasty. Well, the Togol Dynasty has a third more than the Malians. Red Elephants, of course, a counter to the Gunners, though Gunners like hit everything. We got the Governor Jawler, and as well as looks like biology research, so these Raider Elephants are particularly healthy. Musfati Gunners are just getting stampeded. One Don's on the field right now, wherever he may be at. We do also have the Naza training, production speed and damage versus cavalry increased, which is nice to have. There's a Donzo there. Only one inherent armor. Of course, being near the fort of the Huntress will give him a bit of temporary stealth as well, even if not the Musavati warrior or unit. Basic walls being established, and another pit mine there as well. Sign Paul needs to start putting make a push for that stone. The only place generating a decent amount or not stone, gold. It's generating a decent amount of stone, has a decent amount of stone here. Maybe save up for 2 keeps and keep this secured of 2 keeps. I think 2 keeps would be needed at this moment in time. Red Elephants, particularly healthy. Sporting a large amount of health. They may not have the same damage as Knights, nor same attack speed, but they certainly have the bulk to them. And also slightly higher speed now. Red Elephants looks like going to be eating some cows. Looks like the elephants are wanting some burgers today. A bit of cow tipping has commenced as well. A couple Donzos intercepting. Still no elite Donzo just yet. And now the Raider Elephants are backing on off. Over here, we got more Raider Elephants, a handful of supporting spearmen, gunners, and Donzo push right forward. No surfing gunpowder at the moment, but Musfati guns do have higher base damage than regular hand cannoneers. Elephants stampeding the way forward. You now have the former leadership increasing the movement speed of these gunners, able to kite a little bit better versus the elephants. Mangonels and Springald engaging this formation. Get some good hits there. More elephants advancing here. And looks like all the sofas go down, and looks like Cyan has resigned. And Sandgrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Let's see, let me bring up my notepad of replays the cast. Not quitting the game. Oh well. Let's see, look for Dry Arabia 110. Nope, that's 24 seconds. Definitely not that one. Twelve, 22 seconds again. 22 seconds again. And here we go. And well, since the last cast Abbasid Dynasty, honestly. Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another Age of Empires 4 replay. So on the bottom left side is the purple Abbasid Dynasty. We got Tool Cornivus 1. On top right side is the Orange Zuzi's Legacy with core 7525 on DC for coaching. First question we need to answer is Meditation Garden. We got 2 gold deposits here for the Meditation Garden, which maybe will skim some berries or some wood, so it's probably the best immediate spot I can think of. Other spots just don't look as good to me. I do think somewhere around here would be good for the Meditation Gardens. And got House of Wisdom going on up. At least queued on up. There we go. Tang Dynasty will also reduce the cost of aging up for the Zuzi's Legacy player. We do now have the Economic Wing being researched. I wonder if we'll see at Secondary Town Center. The Fertile Crescent upgrade is a great way of reducing the cost of town centers by 30%. Meditation Gardens is being established, yep, next to both gold deposits. As well as collecting up a decent amount of berries. Did he? Oh, no, there's still 6 berries here. Has not started collecting the berries. Collected those sheeple, since sheep do collect up faster than berries. So this should provide him a decent amount of income. Around 50 gold and what? Each berry which provides 6, so was that 36? And maybe a piece of wood chip here. I actually can switch over to the player. I see no trees in the sphere of influence. Fertile Crescent being researched, so it looks like he is going to be eyeing another town center. Stone being collected there. We do also have the fresh foodstuffs. We do have professional scouts being researched by the Zuzi's Legacy player. Scout deployed in the field. Trying to grab the delicious piece of venison. Going for survival techniques now. And it looks like we still got the bug where you start off a Chinese scout rather than a Zuzi's Legacy scout. Another town center being deployed up by purple. So both players eyeing for a bit eco. Third town center here, so we've got triple town center opener for the Abbasid Dynasty player. Abbasid Dynasty is probably one of the largest economic houses in the game, because agriculture gives you another farming and a half level upgrade, not to mention improved processing. Additionally, you get additional plus 50% here. You get absurdly high collection rates. In fact, with this here, you just get one extra level of all your upgrades. Farm for farm, which is even just straight up better. Players are capped out plus 30% of all the basic food upgrades, but with these 2 effects here, you've got plus 30% there, so it allows you to get double the effectiveness of the upgrades effectively, or additional plus 30%. Let's leave it at that. Zunchnu engaged by some exotic doggos. Like a fair amount of damage there. Lost 30 health, which is quite significant. You have more Zunchnu's and Spear pushing forward. I think he saw the double town center, so he's going to be aggressive. Archer range will be good. Stable will be good. You have Zuzi's Legacy player is just pumping out units right now. Has 5 Zunchnu's, 5 more on the way, couple spearmen with 1 more on the way, and a horseman. Still Tang Dynasty, so his age ups are still reduced. So does not have the Zhengen Tower. May have had these structures supervised by a single Imperial official. And bringing some more pieces of venison back at home. The other piece of venison is, of course, here, which is being consumed. And this one looks like Orange will be obtaining now. And also one over here, which is down to 1 piece of venison. No engineers just yet by Orange. which would be very nice getting blacksmith out just for +1 range damage for Zunchnu's. We got +1 range armor, which is actually probably the wrong call. It's probably better to go with +1 range damage, unless he's really wants to protect himself from town centers, but it's noticeably squishy versus it. I disagree with this. I can see siege engineers, I can see +1 range damage. +1 range armor is probably less important for Zuzi's legacy. They should be the one aggressive with the damage. If you have +1 range damage not being restricted by abstinency, and inversely, when fighting against Chinese with Zuzi's legacy, you probably want more range armor first. The burst nature just makes stuff more and more complicative. So in this case, just geometric, not exponential. Got a couple more housing beings out here, which do have 30% cost reduction. One villager does get peppered up a little bit there. And that's not the type of pepper they want to trade on the Silk Road spice trade. Two more spear on the way. Got army value 27,800 versus 1,400. A pretty big difference, but the values are still relatively low. But this is at 10-minute mark, so it is probably still pretty high. Siege engineers being researched by Zuzi's legacy, though he does need to collect a bit more wood. One battering ram being summoned in the field. You can see these circling. They're definitely doing that summoning ritual dance. In this case, they're not circling the wagons, they're creating a wagon. Not really a wagon. Question, what makes a wagon? Would a battering ram consider a wagon? It's like a cereal or soup. After all, pie is a form of soup, it's just an edible bowl. Oh, that horseman got trapped there, gets shanked. Two battering rams have been summoned. Could go for a third. I feel like 2 is not enough. 3 feels a very strong number. Let's take a bit of damage here. Zunchnu's push forward. Some of these villagers starting to get hit. Military wing now being established. Stable being hit. One villager does go down. Zunchnu's push forward does take out another horseman or scout. Villager there, trying to torch down some battering rams. Horseman does get intercepted. We do have some early palace guard mixed on in. They offer 9 damage per slice. I thought man-at-arms usually have 10 damage in this age. Early man-at-arms. Maybe I'm mistaken. Zunchnu's firing away. Got a good number of blacksmith upgrades. Got range armor and damage. We also got melee damage for Zuzi's legacy. Very nice. Ought to help out his palace guards. Town center has been set ablaze. Villagers trying to be gunned down by the Zunchnu's. Orange is making great headway of killing everything. Blue's or purple's army has disintegrated. Town center's down to little health. Starting to repair it up now. Putting some arrows into it. Town center does go down. These villagers not being gunned down. And now purple's down to 40 villagers versus 45. So purple still a slight advantage. Castle is just completed. Giloms will be excellent right now. Right now, the Zunchus are doing 5 damage, so the Giloms, the +1 armor, will have at least, what, 5 armor or 4 armor? They will only take 1 damage per strike. Food Camping Research, a very powerful upgrade. We got some Giloms on the build queue, very nice. Got a couple Camel Riders. Camel Riders are anti-cavalry. Of course, got those for free for the military wing. Going for some Lancers. I think he's just trying to get anything on the field. Lancers will do perfectly fine. It's not fighting against too many Spearmen at the moment. But Giloms right now will be excellent. They have 5 armor, so they'll only take 1 damage per bolt from Zunchnu. Camel Riders are relatively bulky in this age. While they don't have inherent any range armor, at least the bulk will help them out. But the problem is that Giloms are in small numbers. He's trying to stop these battle rams. And Zunchnu is here in very good numbers. Zeus's legacy player is very far from aging up, though he does still his Tang dynasty. Heavy armor units push away forward. Battery rams cleaving through some of this infrastructure. You probably would not want to hit the lumber camps, so it's pointless to go take down at the moment. Lancer, Camel Rider, and some more Giloms trying to pick off these units there. Camel Rider could be peeled and off with the siege weapons. Camel Riders, they do pull and save for the siege. They anti-cavalry, but they also get anti-siege capabilities. So they're a mix of, well, they're more coastal horsemen in this aspect, but also not. They're pretty much the entirely own unit. They're more just, of course, a reference to the Age of Empires 2 camels, supposed to be, which are anti-cavalry units. Purple is trying to clean up more stone. His stone is largely consumed, so I'm not exactly sure what it's meant for. Maybe a keep, maybe for more town centers. He spent a whole lot of stone on something, so maybe another town center up here, looks like. Orange is streaming on more units there, more Zunchnus. Giloms and Lancers are definitely the best call. Horsemen, veteran horsemen, would be very nice as well, since their armor is high enough to resist the crossbone damage while also being bonus damage versus range. In fact, horsemen, veteran horsemen, probably be a better option than Lancers at this moment in time, far more cost effective. Though I know that's in case for Keshiks, I'm not sure about Lancers off the top of my head. Up north, we got the Lancer and Camel Rider picking off some units. That's a pretty nice little counterattack there. Enough Giloms here. Put some units aside the battery ram. Battery rams have a vulnerability to melee damage, so the Giloms would do just fine. They unload. There's pop out there. I'm not sure how big that was. Secondary town center takes some damage. This is secondary town center. This is the capital. One battery ram does go down. Giloms trying to take out that battery ram. 2 more Giloms in build queue. He is low on food, that's why he's not putting more Giloms. No archer range over here as well. But then again, you still need food for that. That's not other Age of Empires game would cost wood and gold. So that's what Giloms he has. He could try. He has free improved siege engineers, so maybe deploying out a Maganel if possible. Yeah, he has enough on Maganel. Be a bit of a long time to build it though. Ugh. Purple's just having trouble. He just needs more food, I think, in general. He has Golden Age Tier 1. Golden Age Tier 2 is not important, increased your speed. That's not important right now. Capital and secondary town center firing away with their own arrows. A good extra amount of arrows there. Sounds like it's also on damage. Absent Dynasty is now low on gold. Relatively safe gold deposit down here. Or so far killed off 52 villagers. That's a calling. Yep, it was 36 food per minute. Orange still not aging up. Yes, a lot of Zunchnus. I think age up could be very nice. But I think his opponent's armor can match it, so still just do 1 damage. Of course, I've even invested for him, and he's actually nowhere near aging up. House going on down. After the DCS player playing spare population at the moment. His opponent helped him out with that. Villagers heading down south to the stone deposit. Nope, to the berries. Desperate for the food. There's about 700 food there. Not a great amount of food, but it's better than nothing. 700 food actually would be quite a useful amount. Capital on the siege, Marysville, Abstinency, 2 landmarks. The capital has 7,000 health and it's going on down. The House of Wisdom has 12,000 at the moment. As these villagers need to start repairing the capital, he cannot lose. I suppose he can lose the capital. He still has another town center. And his opponent only has 1 town center as well, so he's fine in losing the capital, which is not great the thing to say. Try and keep that battering ram alive. Let the town center finish set off, 45 health. Up north, just some Gilams. Just a tide of Zunchnu's. Economic-wise, 577, so around 1,700, or no, let's just say 2,000 income there, versus 1,500. Some of these villagers going down there, more than being cold. The right now gold players at 66, of course half of purple's idle, which half of the idle ones are there. I'm not sure the other half that's idle at the moment. Looks like some of them were over here. Going for farms, at least the farms have their cost reduction thanks to the Fertile Crescent. Elams are still the best item right now, offering the most amount of health and yeah, just overall, Galen's probably the best. Horseman is probably a good item to mix on in. Mount Lu Academy, that is age 3 for Zuzi's Legacy. Which also give him more official research. Officially. Silver retains Golden Age Tier 1. And these farms will provide a great amount of income. Yeah. Needs more gold. Let's just... Actually, let's switch over the players so the cost that pops up here more fits up here. Agriculture seems like a really good upgrade to me right now. He has no basic economic upgrade, so right now he has this plus 15 from Golden Age 1. Which is better, just plus 10% here. I think agriculture would be a great upgrade right now. In comparison to the other upgrade here, it is half cost. Maybe go for both of them. We do now have the veteran Zushus. They can get up to 7 damage this age. Elams can get up to 6 armor this age. He's heard this one age on up. Be definitely a good idea to get the plus 1 range armor. Veteran Horseman now being researched. Very good. Horseman, Gilam. Archers would be nice, it'd be just generally good. Golden Age Tier 2, not important. I suppose increased speed would be nice, but it's not critical at this moment. Purple's trying to rebuild his military force. Out to 7 damage. No plus 1 range armor, or plus 2 range armor. So these Gilams will take 2 damage per bolt, which is significant. And composite bows, it's very good archers, don't get me wrong. But like I said, I do believe the the second +1 range armor would be the best call. It will also greatly help out the horseman as well. The horseman right now only has 4 range armor, putting the 5. Will make it so they only take 2 damage themselves, around 3 damage. Yeah, we're talking about large double-digit percentage increase damage resistances just by getting the extra orange armor. There it goes, now being researched. It's being finalized soon. The increased research speed from the Golden Age Tier 2 is actually being quite critical right now. As much as I say it's not super important, right now it is actually quite important. Get him able to adapt a little bit better in this current situation. Horsemen engaging the battering rams. Guillaume's forward. Composite bowmen advancing. You have some lancers mixed on him. He just got to brute force through them with the Guillaumes. Archers being focused on by the Zunchnews. Everything else is collapsing the Zunchnews. Orange's armies get cleaned on up. Horsemen are the more best suited counter, the higher mobility and the damage multiplier. Able to quickly cleave through these Zunchnews, no problem. Orange needs to make some more Spearmen or Palace Guard at current rate. However, Palace Guard are particularly not great for Guillaumes due to the lower armor. Guillaumes are the high attack speed in arms. They do have lower damage in exchange for like twice the high attack speed. They also have higher base health. As I mentioned, Boot Camp will also get even higher health. Offer 224, which is probably like 224 and something mount. I think Man Arms' age, like Palace Guard, gets like 185, I want to say. Palace Guard would probably not be a good option versus Guillaumes. Guillaumes do also have that charge attack. And they also have several slightly higher movement speed than other man-at-arms, but not spearmen or archers' movement speed. But at least can keep up formations a little bit nicer. Archers being focused on, but Zunchnews very nice. Microing the archers back. Zunchnews do have a range of 4.5, which with the bolt, what's it called? Bolt magazine, bolt crossbows. They are able to increase that range with 5. That's what's giving a bit of bonus damage versus light melee, which his opponent's not deploying in the field. So, I have to justify the cost of a 0.5 range, which could be necessary, but can be mitigated by just some proper micro. Villagers being pursued there. Purple is starting to get his foot back in the game. Economic-wise, he has a pretty good amount of villagers. Let's see. Kind of the income. Got 600, 700. There's 13. Let's just round up 4, 17, plus another 17. So about 3,400-ish to a 4. Well, actually, wow, that numbers are pretty bad right there. Not even 2,000. I guess his economy's in transition. Purple managed to get his transition to farms going. Zuzu's Legacy has gone to Song Dynasties, but does reduce the cost of all these economic buildings, which is nice to have. If we switch over to him, which the farms get reduced down to 53, which is nice. Also give access to the granny, of course. And looks like the Zuzu's Legacy is stuck in transition. While Dynasty managed to go up straight to age 4. With the culture wing, which helped him reduce the cost of researching improvements, particularly all the university, or should I say, madrasa research. We got Royal Crossman being employed by Zuzu's Legacy in this case, which would be good against Guillaumes, but not with Horsemen. Navis' Dynasty's superior economy is starting to rocket forward. He's managed to stabilize to the late game. And they're still, of course, playing resources of the map. 8,000 gold here. Could probably try to get that last bit of gold technology income.
意安情，看着不错。
Stone walls being established now.
好的，需要做巡逻，需要做些巡逻。
There's the upgrade. Bolt magazines, that's what it's called. We do also have the veteran camel archers research, which are basically mounted archers in the more truer sense, which could be a nice item to have, while also fighting camel unease in the back line. When it comes to relics, looks like orange managed to claim 3, picked up a 4th. Purple only claims the 1. Immediately going forward, there's a very important research to reduce the cost of all technologies age up advancement by -20%. If you're going for fast castle, that's usually why you see this upgrade. If you see a fast expansion, you go to economic. If you just want to apply some early aggression, of course you get the free military units and military wing. But if you're going for fast castle, or honestly the economic, generally military wing either comes first or second. I don't think it's probably been years since last I've ever seen House of Wisdom will ever age military wing up to 3rd. And I don't think I've ever seen the 4th research, which you can get as with the military. It's usually culture or trade that is a selection number 4. And generally not economic and never military. Got some forces over here. Purple managed to get 129 villagers. He could probably tone down the villager production, getting some textiles. I sort of wish they just renamed textiles to loom, just to match Age of Empires 2. Pretty close Golden Age Tier 3, improving the resource collection rate to 20%. Incendiaries +1 range damage. The made one heavy and elite camel archers? That's interesting. It's been a while since the last cast Absent Dynasty. So elite camel archers, they have 200 health, is pretty healthy for an archer unit. Of course, the range is still abysmal, but Silk Bowstring probably disproportionately be very nice for them, plus 0.8 range. Nope, we got trebuchets now hitting the keep here. Camel archers do have pretty high base damage. They punch the armor relatively well. They have no inherent armor of any sort. Do not have biology being researched. A handful of these villagers are repairing the keep. They have camel upgrade, camel riders, but not camel archers, get increased armor, melee armor. Camel rider takes a bit of damage there, push way forward. Got a good number of spear there, which camel archers do counter. They do bonus damage with light melee, as well as light gunpowder. Keep is quite damaged. Trebuchets have a little bit of a post there and help affect them. NSB is starting to get overran. Looks like Orange's frontline army is starting to disintegrate. Of course, Purple's army frontline disintegrated as well, but we've got reinforcing horsemen to gauge everything here. They counter everything in this region. The keep is staying alive for now. And not to mention all the Zoom Canoes are starting to get overran across them as well by these horsemen. And Orange has resigned. An excellent comeback there by Purple. This is great seeing you watching, and on to the next replay. Let's see. Didn't really have too much time in order to look up replays today. So let's see if I can't find some older ones. 1/2. Actually, I don't think I should look through this one's replays. Quick peek around here and there. We could do this one. Delisana versus Daimyo. Yep. Let's see. We're looking for Dry Arabia 1/2, which that may have been gotten rid of. Sometimes the replays just disappear, and I don't understand why. It was EGC Dry Arabia, and looks like that replay may have disappeared. Maybe that map received map update, so it just gets disappeared from the list. Oh, well, we could do, what was it? This one here? Let's just do this one. Whoops. That's the wrong button. Greetings everyone, and great here for another Age Mythology, not Age Mythology, Age and Papyrus 4 replay. Spawn on top left side is yellow Sengoku Daimyo. We got Beastie. Spawn bottom right side is blue Deli's Ultimate. We got a Puppy Paw. Back when I remember his name was one Puppy Paw. Of course, got the moss going on up. And we got the food cart here. When it comes to map generation, blue does have 2 wood deposits in front of him, providing some natural coverage. 1 small gold behind him with some berries here. Deadly Solomon is close to Islamic, so gets improved berry collection. And it looks like both his deer deposits spawn a little bit forward, and his other tree deposit in front of him as well. Yellow, of course, has another tree deposit spawned way up here, while 2 of them spawned around him, which actually may cause a bit of trouble providing some natural walls. Small gold near the other small gold. He's somewhat easy to project to, but pretty wide open. Small gold over here. And looks like food carts are immediately finding some delicious pieces of venison. They'll may need to reposition towards the more center, because this one almost gets out of the radius. Dome of the Faith being deployed on the field. Looks your bargain bin scholars. The Sengoku Daimyo player is actually get a bit behind on aging up. You got Kota Township, which give him access to various shinobi abilities, global abilities to summon. We got the level 1 wheelbarrow being researched by yellow as well. Cheapo has been tasked on home. various research, not big surprise. We do have an outpost here. Looks like both players eyeing for a bit of economic games. And yep, looks like some deer have walked away, reducing them food income. Needs to reposition the yatai, or however you pronounce it, the food cart. So it is actually next to a bunch of berries as well, but if you put some more right there, it would provide maximum coverage, at least a little bit better. Sakdago does bite the food trader, the food delivery. We do now have some Gazi Raiders here. There are the ambush units, which offers, of course, a slight bit of siege damage, mostly meant for the snare effect. They do have like a bit of a grenade tracking, so it's not perfect. Sort of surprised he's able to spawn on himself. Target near forest when you shinobi a group of grenades. But he was able to target on himself. I guess itself is also a possible target. Stealth forest, so it should be like the shrubbery here, but he clearly summed it on top of himself. Well, if that's a perfect valid target, that'll be fine. But that's sort of interesting. He was able to cast it there. We have some Yari cavalry here, which do have a little bit bonus damage versus other cavalry. Was that the Yatai took a bit of damage there. Does collect up sheeple as well. Could keep it towards more of the mutton in the meantime. After all, mutton's still edible. Zalakdago does go down there. 4 Yari cavalry here. Good number of Gazi Raiders in return. We do have a daimyo now to one field. Yari cavalry do cost more than regular cavalry, like the Gazi Raiders. Melee, oh no, attack speed increase. That's what daimyo, not damage. I'm used to the other banner man. So attack speed gets increased to 1.65. The Gazi Raiders do hit harder but slower at 2. You now have the horse training research that gives cavalry just plus 10% movement speed. You now have survival or professional scouts being researched by Delhi, so I'm just going to try to collect some Venice on the map. They all spawn in sort of same area, so they're all deliciously obtainable. Handful of spearmen would be excellent to protect them from the Yari cavalry. Yari cavalry do find a handful of villagers. Guys, are moving to intercept some of these villagers, taking some damage there. Oh, and there's shinobi ambush there. Looks like they threw some grenades against the villagers, trying to snare them, and looks like he's not trying to deal with the Gazi Raiders just yet. While those grenades do siege damage, 2 damage is not a lot. I'm Barry sneeze. My apologies. It was like Pumbaa is being milked there by the food cart. Rational scouts almost complete by the Delhi's ultimate player. Of course, Delhi Sonic gets all the research for free, so he may not be necessarily eyeing for actually looking at a piece of venison, but he is going for more scouts here, so mostly going to try to make a grab for the venison. Might as well get the research free. And scouts are not too terribly expensive, even if you... And they're still just scouts, which they can still do that job as well. They'll just be a bit more professional as scouts. This is a pretty good number of Yari cavalry here, moving at a staggering 2.06 movement speed. Blue needs to get some more spearmen. Geyser raiders are just simply not going to cut it. They're just going to be inferior to the Yari cavalry by a large amount. These Geyser raiders should just turn around and fight. They outnumber and should do fine enough. Blue has lost 5 villagers so far this game, and it's down quite a good number. More villagers going down for Blue. And more villagers being tasked on 4, not great. Yeah, right now Blue needs to go heavier in spearmen. He does manage to capture every single sacred site, giving him an excellent amount of extra gold income. 375 additional gold per minute. He has 0 villagers in gold, and that should be up to 375 approximately. Looks like I got some more ambush shinobi here, snaring some of these Ghazi raiders. And his whole formation is wounded. He needs to fall back to a scholar and pick it off. He does find a food trader there. So since he wants to obtain the Uber Eats there. So I'm not sure what version the Japanese have to Uber Eats. Spearmen pursuing these cavalry now. Spearmen pursuing. We do have a good number of Yumi archers now. They are, of course, cheaper but weaker archers. Right now costing 35. Would be a good counter to those spearmen, which right now more spearmen would be a good idea for Blue. Geyser raiders need to hit those Yumi archers. Won't take too much to kill off these Yumi archers though. Yumi archers, of course, have only 68 health. Geyser raiders right now doing 12 plus 12, so 24 damage per strike. So it looks like 3 strikes will take out a Yumi archer. 3 strikes will do 72 damage, so plus 1 armor, melee armor, will not save the Yumi archers. They need a little bit more health to go along with that. In fact, right now, 3 strikes with 1 armor will be 69 damage. So it looks like the Geyser raiders are very perfectly able to fight those Yumi archers. Plus, if this one gets some extra armor, he can always go for melee damage as well. House of Learning not going on up. This piece of venison will be dropped. Geyser raiders moving around. Got a food cart here. Villagers backing on off. House of Learning incomplete. Currently 0 villagers of boon in House of Learning. Too many Yari cavalry charging down on top of him. Villagers largely inside the town center, though one does draw the short straw. Geyser raiders may not want to pursue too far because they could just simply turn around and win. Couple spearmen push way forward. Sake Brewery now being pulled in the field. Up here we do have, looks like the food carts going down. And 6-side victory is going to be successful soon, but one of the 6 sides being decaptured at least. Another Yalti cart is going down. These forces are going to get hit as well. Those backing off. Mills not complete. Blues managed to age on up. Some Giloms would be relatively nice right now. Not Giloms, man at arms. Wrong civilization. He is right now going for the Pockies. Archers across will get plus 0.5 range. He is going for some Lancers. No Giloms. He may not. Yeah, he should have. He has a Spearman on the field, so he can get out some man at arms. Did I say Giloms again? I just got done casting game Abs Dynasty. Down south, Sacred Site being decaptured. All the Sacred Sites will be decaptured shortly. Blue's been maintaining triple Sacred Site income for quite some time. In fact, probably all this gold income, almost all of that gold income he has in store is probably from passive income from the Sacred Sites. We do now have the Ego Yumi, increase +1 damage to Yumi archers, making them a bit more standardized. Since they have one less base damage, that'll effectively put them off their regular archer damage. They also have less health. We do now have the veteran Yumi archer, oh no, that's the wrong side. Veteran Yumi archer research now complete. With 74 health. Gazi Raiders are not veteran just yet, but Ghosty's not going for it just yet. Once they get upgraded, they will once again 3-shot the Yumi archers. At least they should, I believe. Yeah, they should. After all, currently they're doing 72 damage per strike, and right now these Yumi archers are just doing 74, so they get +1 damage, they would do 75. Or 3 strikes, I should say. 3 strikes, not per strike. 3 strikes. You know what they say, 3 strikes you're out. Most of these Lancers are going to be pursued. These Yard Cavalry can move far faster than these Lancers. Up north, these Lancers, however, find some villagers. Lancers right now have 5 range armor. Yumi archers have right now 8 damage, so they're able to pierce the Lancers no problem. Shinobi being deployed in the field. They do throw the smoke grenades and run back, or they're like drug grenades. I think it's like some sort of drugs that they throw at their opponent. Got a monk here. Lancers starting to way forward, starting to make their way back now. Just a large number of Lancers. He has not gotten the Hoden Blade upgrade just yet either. The what's called Kiji. So they are missing out a bit of base damage there. Does impale some Yari Cavalry. And we've got some flagellation there. We are seeing the Mount Huts upgrades. He's going straight for some elephant upgrades. War elephants wouldn't be half bad right now. They will offer good anti-cavalry damage. Though we do have some of the anti-armor tools here. The Nagashima Ashigarus. They are the crossbow replacement for the Daimyo. Which I believe they're also classified not as gunpowder. Or not as light gunpowder, so they don't get affected by the bonus damage from archers. They're neither light nor heavy, just gunpowder. For the gunpowder replacement. They cost 70, so more expensive than a regular crossbowman. They offer 15 damage. Regular crossbowman has what, 10 damage, plus 10 versus heavy. But their attack speed is slower than a crossbowman. But they do also offer a little bit more health. Scholar going on down. Right now, blue has obtained 2 relics. Yellow has picked up 1. Which I believe that one could be right there. No, that's a food cart. Villagers here starting to go on down. Got a wool. Does take a slice there, and does gather radius. Blues obtained 2 sacred sites. This one center has been captured, so got a sacred site victory in for blue, or shortly. Got smoke grenades there. It looks like you can target your own buildings with the shinobi there as well. Good to know. I thought it was only self-force. Didn't say anything in the description saying you can target your own structures. Which makes it pretty nice you can, for the farmhouses, so you have a bit of emergency defense when it comes to your beds and collectors. $25 damage per strike, so they will 3-shot these Yumi archers as well. Some lances are getting gunned down a little bit there. Got some lancers here getting hit by the yard cavalry. They should be able to turn around. Those who are trying to save the sacred site. Impales that yard cavalry twice, and the scholar stays here and able to get some health recovery here. Right now, blue has an army size of 37 versus 45. Blue has a higher value due to the larger value of lancers. But I think this number is also greatly inflated by the number of scholars in the field. He's at 20. Yeah, if you take the 12 times by the 24 on 240. Yeah, that's most of his army value is in the scholars. And remember that well the discount scholars, so this number is actually inflated. We do have the level 2 cavalry clan. Pushing down some other infrastructure. Lancers now pushing the way forward. Picking up some of this infrastructure over here. Villagers heading up north, just drawing the ire of the Yumi archers. Lancers pushing the way forward. Yellow does capture the central sacred site there, decaptures it, fully captures the northern one. Blue or yellow still torching down some other stuff here. House of Learning, never queued up the hearty rations, might as well get that queued on up. Oh, got some smoke bombs being thrown out there. Hits this formation. Finds a good number of villagers there. They're all going down. Blue the card as well. Yellow still has an army here. Blue has a higher villager count right now, 59 versus 41. And he has got the keep on the field and has got a village fortress. Just not queued up any villagers to the fortress. Yellow's backing on off now. Blue's advancing. Got a good number of scholars here, so he's bringing the scholars for frontline healing. Yellow does discard his gunpowder units there. Let his cavalry escape on out of there. Got good number of scholars here. Now they have a particularly high movement speed of 1.69, so they're able to accompany this formation quite well. Actually, they move faster than Lancers. The crossbones should be left behind. They will slow down the entire formation. I didn't realize these scholars can get that fast. Holy crap. Like 1.69 is just stupidly fast. Like I said, they can move faster than Lancers. They can keep a company of Lancers. We do now have a War Elephant on the build queue for the Delhi Sultanate. Of course, the entire formation will be healed up in no time. I think Delhi Sultanate players starting to get a pretty good grasp of the game. Feels like the Daimyo player has the advantage the entire game, but it looks like the Delhi Sultanate, with all the scholars here now actually being utilized as a military unit. All the resources been obtained. He has enough gold to age him up, just needs a whole pile more food, which we don't have too many farms in mode. He's actually starting to produce more and more farms every time I look back here. Another mosque there. Blue has obtained 4 relics. Gazier is coming for a bit of a raid. More shinobi there. Does spawn on top of a wall. Which some of the grenades may impact the top of the wall, looks like. Up north. Not sure if any villagers... Oh, yeah. A good number of villagers went down there. Those he struck from multiple locations one, and his one only reacted one. Not like they could all escape all Lancers. Yellow's actually down to below 40 villagers. Blue's doing a great job of raiding all the villagers. That's probably what's getting him on a pretty good foothold this entire game. He was on the back foot, it felt like, but that's greatly changed. You have now deflection available on the samurai. He has level 3 cavalry, or at least clans. Scholar is trying to get some units being healed up there in combat. Some of the scholars are going down. Gazier is slowly being picked apart. Now I do have a War Elephant. Looks like the majority of those scholars, or a good chunk of those scholars, did go down there. He still has 25 in the field with 9 more on the build queue. Blue right now has 2 sacred sites on his control. Yellow has 0. And over here we do have Lancers taking out a good number of ranged units. But of course, these crossbow are the anti-heavy, and not crossbow, the Tengashima Ashigarus. Those Lancers will crush the way forward. Good number of Lancers severely wounded. It may be just best for Blue to pull back out of this region. See how wounded those units are. He has plenty of scholars to keep them healed off. This wounded force falling back. Passing some scholars is a good idea. I'm curious about the level 3. Chorus provides first plus 5, then plus 10%. Now also gets deflective armor. And of course allows Daimyo levies to be occasionally get spawned out for free. Blue still has plenty of gold for age up, just needs a lot more food. Blue one may want to slow down on the gold collection. He has 10 villagers on gold, which honestly, it's not too many. Oh, I think he just bought a bunch of food, didn't he? Because I think he just bought some food. Went for a big round of God's Raiders, a couple crossbow, and another pile of scholars. Sacred side victory for blue once again. Shinobi popped on out. Take 40% increased damage. That should be very useful against the elephants, honestly, now thinking about it. Scholars gain some great frontline healing and yellow backs of the game. This is Angrade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Right now, I have not been getting much sleep lately, so I'm plugging in the stream a little bit early. So everyone, thank you for watching.